All right, July 26, 2012, continuing with part two as we get ready to listen to part two. Remember the prediction given by the chief rabbi, 113-year-old rabbi, for Av 5772, a window, a time frame for the rapture of the church. Will the 9th of Av, will the Olympics, will that be the trigger for the rapture and the tribulation? Let's continue on, part two.
Have you seen the British Airways TV commercial for the Olympic Games that ends with the cryptic message, "Don't fly"? And the soundtrack is the 1979 apocalyptic song, "London Calling," written and performed by the British punk rock band The Clash. I'm going to read to you the lyrics, and I want you to think about why British Airways would choose this song for their TV commercial promoting travel to London for the Games. Yet the last visual image on the screen are the words, "Don't fly." What kind of airline would tell people to not fly? Here are the lyrics to "London Calling." London calling to the faraway towns, now that war is declared and battle come down. London calling to the underworld, come out of the cupboard, all you boys and girls. London calling, now don't look at us, all that phony Beatlemania has bitten the dust. London calling, see we ain't got no swing, except for the ring of that truncheon thing. The ice age is coming, the sun is zooming in, engines stopped running, and the wheat is growing thin. A nuclear era, but I have no fear. London is drowning, and I live by the river. London is calling to the imitation zone. Forget it, brother, and go it alone. London calling upon the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath. London calling, and I don't want to shout, but when we were talking, I saw you nodding out. London calling, see we ain't got no highs, except for that one with the yellowy eyes.
Okay, Mr. Kyle, that was the song that's for the British Airways advertisement for airlines. For people to go into the Olympics.
And we know the sun is doing funny stuff. We know they keep telling us all of our engines are going to fail and that we're going to deal with electricity going out. We know that they're doing all kinds of imagery about calling up zombies and different kinds of beasts from the netherworld. I mean, and this song was 79, you said?
Yes, and using genetic splicing to try and creating chimeras, mixtures of humans, plants, and animals on the earth, and they're calling these demons up out of the ground.
And let me interrupt real quick with this zombie type apocalypse that we've heard about so often on the news and on the internet, and now today, talking about these creatures. A creature washes ashore in New York, Manhattan, and we don't know what it is. It's half maybe pig and something else. We don't know what this creature is. Let's continue.
Around, and where does Father say he's locked them up down in the earth, and he warns of us of the the locusts that are going to come up out of the earth from under it.
Or was it scorpions?
Or scorpions, yeah. Scorpions with tails that have stingers. They've also got, it said it's talking to the zombies to quit holding out. So they're telling the zombies to start acting out. It's like with this recent Aurora shooting here at the movie theater. Since then, we've had quote-unquote copycat people across the United States that are acting out in violence as well.
As if the movie, it was a trigger. Mm-hmm. There was triggers for violence in the movie, and all kinds of things are happening because of that.
Yeah, people are asking, and especially an ex-NSA NSA member there. He's up in Washington. What's his name?
Wayne Madison?
Wayne Madison. Wayne Madison was on the Alex Jones show yesterday talking about it, and he believes that that's precisely what it is. Like the book of Catcher in the Rye was theorized for many years that these MK Ultra program persons were triggered by this.
And since we don't read anymore, we have to use movies now to trigger people. And what's interesting is that the Aurora Theater, it's called the Aurora Fox Theater, and when you look at the front of it, it's got these X's all over it. And I had heard somebody mention about triple X, but it wasn't pornography. It was okay to go in the theater, and from from there, we were watching a video that one of our awesome listeners sent to us, and the video is going to be on the newsletter, and it's a really great video. Well, it shows that the Sumerian letters coincide with numbers, and the numbers of FOX or the OXs also, all of them relate to the number 6. So the Aurora Fox Theater is, a 666.
Yeah.
Well, that same triple X, that's what's on this Olympics right now. It's the 30th Olympics, from my understanding, and that's got the same 666 on it.
That's right.
And so we're watching these correlations between this Dark Knight shooting and this, the Illuminati calling card, and what they're planning, this giant thing they're planning for the Olympics or after the Olympics.
Yeah. How the Sumerian alphabet goes is, you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, P. Of course, it's a different way they form their letters, but they number it. They number them 1 through 9, and the Sumerian numbering system repeats, so that when you go through their letters, the F, O, and X all have the number 6, and that's where the 66 comes from, and relates it to the Olympics, and it relates it to the sacrifice that just occurred at the movie theater. Not only that, but there was a release of a new rap song that was a part of the previews before the movie.
No, it actually was previewed in that movie theater a little bit beforehand, like a few days before the massacre. It was done.
Okay, so what they have here is a rap star singing in front of Little Wayne in front of a stadium full, the seats in the movie theater, and there's 12 skeletons that are dead, just skeletons sitting behind him as he's doing his rap song.
And not only that, a couple of other interesting points around this theater and this shooting is that Aurora, which is supposed to be the dawn, the light bringer Lucifer, and the Dark Knight rises in Aurora at midnight here. Well, this is exactly 13 years and 3 months to the day after the Columbine shooting, and the Columbine High School is exactly 13 miles from the theater. And then also, as this was going on, this John Holmes was supposedly shooting people. Kelly Holmes was lighting the Olympic torch. And so we are seeing just kind of like some strange, I don't believe in coincidence, so we're just picking up the pieces and putting it together.
That's right, Mitch Bokaw. And why is this happening? It's like Tamara said in the beginning, is the revealing is happening to those that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And how do you get that? You return to the Torah, the way the Messiah walked it out and lived it on this earth. It's the Torah, the living word made flesh, walking out on this earth. And he promised us if we do so, he will reveal those things to us. And that's why we are calling our people to a fast with us. We're going to do it with you or without you, but the power comes from the fast. Fasting and prayer, repentance of heart, repenting from our Gentile forefathers and teaching us all these worthless and vain things that we have no idea, because we have rejected knowledge. We do not seek or search out anything for ourselves, and we give over our Yah-given right of choice to choose between a curse or a blessing each and every day when we let these corrupt satanic worshipers who hid themselves in secrecy and cloak themselves in all of their works so that we could not see them and we would not know them. So we have to return to him in order to be able to see and hear. The reason why we're getting the understanding today across the spectrum, be it Jew, Christian, Buddhist, Islamic, European, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, the truth is coming out about all these things, who our masters and have been, and the leaders are of this planet, in the banking, the financial institution, the governmental institutions, and they're all tied to the Tavistock Institute. Look it up, Ms.
Which is tied to London.
That's right.
Which we can totally see that London, it could be the city in the Revelation 18. I mean, we have here that this London, she esteemed herself and lived rightly, so much torture and deep grief give to her, because in her heart she says, I sit as a queen, and I am not a widow, and I do not see mourning at all. Mourning, M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G, as in, I have no mercy.
That's right. And so it's all related to that Tavistock Institute. Like we talked about, 1913 is when they formed it, but every non-government organization, think tank that you hear on the radio and TV, and they get their policies from, and then perpetuate it throughout the world through the UN, the International Monetary Fund. Those are the big ones that they use, the World Bank, and, environmental organizations, and they get us all rallied around these different flags, and they control them. And the CIA, the MI6, the Mossad, the KGB, they get the Skynet central computer, his brain system is Tavistock. That's what that was developed in order to do mass mind control. mass mind control in the 1920s from the shell-shock victims of World War II using drugs. They wanted to develop a program where they could split the people up, where they'd be arguing against their neighbors and no one would be for one another.
Again, Revelation 18:3 says, because all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her whoring, and the sovereigns of the earth have committed whoring with her, and the merchants of the earth have become rich through the power of her riotous living. Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, unless you receive of her plagues. What we're talking about is that London is the heartbeat of the deception, of the evil that is pulsing throughout the world right now.
And Father says that he reveals all to his prophets before it happens. And we haven't been able to know what they are doing because we haven't understood who they are and what they're up to. They've used their symbols. They tell us what they're going to do in movies. They do drills before they do their blood sacrifices and their attacks. 9/11 was that way. The London bombing was that way. This theater shooting here was that way. They're in a high school a medical
Harper
center.
Medical School was actually doing this exact drill
with a guy coming in the theater throwing a smoke bomb in and shooting people the day of this shooting. And the reason why they must do that is because Father controls all evil, and evil is judgment, is the judgments of Father, because we have gone into lawlessness. He's the one that controls it. Therefore, if you look and you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and you know your masters and who they worship and how they worship and what days they worship and what times they worship, and then you start to see it in the movies, you start to see it in the videos, you start to see it in the card games or just playing games, you start to see it in the cartoons from when you were kids. They've got the numbers, they've got the dates, they've got the killers, the shootings, the people doing it.
If you understand that, you can make the counter moves. And in our opinion, the counter move is fasting. And that's what we need to do on this 9th of August. We need to fast. And Father says, watch at all times, pray that you're worthy to escape all that it takes place. What are we doing? We're watching. We're watchmen. We want to know what's going on. And that's what this is about, is taking our authority back from the evil people who have usurped it and giving it and bringing our covering underneath our Messiah. And if you have any question about why all of the people are waking up and the sides are being chosen right now, we did a show called 11-11-11, and you go back and listen to that, and you see what happened in the stars on 11-11-11. The lines were drawn. Those gateways that they opened up, the people who are awake and aware, we are choosing where we're going to stand while these gateways open up.
Yeah, they've decided in this day it's time to reveal everything of who they are and what they are doing. They must do it beforehand, because Father reveals to all those with the eyes and ears to see and hear, and those are his prophets that are commanding the people to return to the loving Torah living word of Yeshua HaMashiach.
So keep looking up, Mishpacha, because our salvation draws nigh.
Hallelujah, Mishpacha.
Keep looking up, indeed. Watchmen, get back up on your post. Watchmen, get up on the wall and pray that we are found worthy to escape all the things that are to come to this earth. Pray, fast. Stay tuned for my next video that I'll be putting out on the rapture of the church. Draws nigh, and who will be the bride? Stay tuned. Look for the rise coming out of this Olympics of possibly the Antichrist. London is going to play a key role. We're looking for a prince of a royal bloodline. Strong ties. London believes they're the New Jerusalem. Stay tuned, everyone. Leave me comments. God bless.